Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started because time is something that's very important to me, and I know it's important to you, so it's right at 6 o'clock, so I want to get this thing started right here. First of all, I want to thank everybody who made the time to come out and meet with us today and let us share our vision for how we can be a part of moving our program forward together. And my name is David Collins, and I am very proud to be the athletic director here at Greenville ISD. I was given an opportunity by our school board and by our selection committee to come in here and have an unbelievable effect on this community. And I know that is something not to take lightly. I understand the importance of the role that we accepted, my wife, my daughter, and I'm telling you today, I want to show you everything that I'm going to do to give everything I can everybody in this community every single day, because that's what this community deserves, okay? When I first got here, before I started today, there are several coaches here today, but I wanted to talk about two in particular that I knew were going to be important to us right away when I was doing my research, all right? I knew that not being from Greenville, I needed to understand what was important to Greenville. I needed to understand why it's so important that we get the program to be what it is, where we want to take the program, and for what reasons we want to take it there. So I knew I had two people that I needed to talk to immediately about joining our team and getting us to the positions we need to be down the road. All right, that first one is our assistant athletic director and our girls coordinator, Jenna Sickles. So everybody give her a hand, please. Jenna is everything we could hope for as a community in the leadership for our girls program and helping me take that program to a new level. All right, her vision, her passion for this town was undeniable. So the first moment I saw her, and I was excited when she told me that she was on board and she was ready to go to work to help us get this program where we all want it to be. The second one, I knew that this man was going to be a part of what we did. I knew he had a wealth of knowledge, and again, I knew this place means something to him. And George Sellers is going to be a big part of our program running forward as well. George is going to take on the role for us of our strength and conditioning coordinator. All right, he's going to take a step back, and most people wouldn't do that. He's going to take a step back from his role with the football program to focus on every athlete in our program and their athletic development. All right, so that he can be a part of every athlete that walks through these doors, 5th grade all the way through 12th grade, and making sure that we maximize their opportunity to be the best they can be during their time in our program, okay? So let's give those guys a very big round of applause. Okay, so what I want to do today is I want to do this quick. I promised Dr. Stewart we'd be done by 6:30 today with a chance to transition some of ours to a PTA meeting. So we're going to make sure that we get off this stage, or I'm off this stage, by 6:30. After that, feel free, come by, I'll shake your hands and talk to everybody as long as you guys need to, because this night is about me getting to know you guys, okay? But I want to talk you through a few things. These are the 5 things that I hope you understand a little bit more after we get done here tonight. Okay, I want you to know about me, my personal background, the reason why I drive so much to be the best man that I can be, those 2 ladies right over there. I want you to understand where my background is in this profession, so you understand where I'm coming from and what I've been able to learn from the people that have developed me and put me in this position today, and so thankful for them. And then I want you to understand our vision, our action plan, and where we're going, how we align it from top to bottom in this program, and then what I'm going to be doing over the next month to do exactly what I started with, which is understand what's important to Greenville, make sure that we take that into account with every decision we make, and we build the program we deserve as a community. That's what we're going to do together, and I mean that. When I say that, guys, it's not going to be 3 people get it done. It's going to be every single person in this community fulfilling their role to getting this thing done and getting this put back in the right positions, okay? So those 2 ladies over there, all right, are why I have become what I've become and what drives me to try to be the very best at what I do on a daily basis. It's because they deserve it. So what I want to make sure y'all understand is this. I know you're going to have extremely high expectations for us as a program. That's not a concern to me, because they will never exceed the expectations I have for myself to do what I need to do so that those two ladies over there are taken care of the way that they need to be. My wife, Crystal, who's in this profession, this is her 20th year in this profession as an instructional specialist for our special ed teachers in RISD. And then my daughter, who is a 3.5-year-old, and that's Kellison. So let's give those two a hand for everything they do for me. Okay? All right. So a little bit about my background. Again, that's my educational background. I'm a Maybank, Texas boy. I was raised in Maybank, Texas my entire life. So when I understand, one of the things I understood about Greenville is the community in Greenville was a lot like what I grew up in Maybank, okay? Except ours is growing at a faster rate than what Maybank is. So we're gonna have to evolve a little bit at a faster rate. But I understood the people, and I understood how important athletics can be to the people of this community. And that is one of the things that excited me. Guys, I'll tell you, I've been in this profession a long time, 23 years now, and it's not always important. It's not always something that people invest in, okay? But here it is. And I understood that from the minute I met everybody in that selection committee and how committed they were to driving this thing forward. And that was an exciting process for me. But there's my track through education, and then here's a little bit about my track through this job. I've spent a couple of stints in my hometown of Maybank, Texas. I've been the offense coordinator at Garland High School. I've been the offensive coordinator and assistant head football coach at Lake Travis High School, where we were fortunate enough to be on a run of 5 state championships in a row. So that was a blessing for me to get to see that part of the program. I've been the athletic director at Pine Tree, the athletic coordinator and the head football coach at J.J. Pierce. And here's what I'll tell you about the 6 years at Pierce. We were lucky enough as an organization in that 6 years at Pierce to have the best 6-year run in 6A history for that program. And when I say that, that includes the top 2 finishes in Pierce High School history in the Lone Star Cup as a total athletic program. And that was because every person had their job to do in that program, and we did it together every single day. And that is what we're going to bring to this program as well. The last couple of years when my daughter was born, I did step away from being an athletic director for just a few years because I wanted to be home when she was at home with Crystal. I didn't want to put all that on Crystal. I thought that was important as a man to do that. It was our only daughter. It's the only one we're going to have. So I took a couple of years step back, but now Kellison's in school. All right, Crystal gets a little bit of a break each day because Kellison goes to school. So now it's time for us to fulfill our calling to come back into a leadership role, and that's why we made the transition back here, and that's why we're in Greenville, Texas. So let's talk about my role and responsibility. I'm not going to talk about these very much, but this is simple. What my responsibility as a leader of this athletic program is to do. Number one is to engage everybody in the community, and that's what we've been doing from the start of last Thursday to today, okay? All right, we've been meeting with everybody that has something to do with this program. We've met with every central administration officer. We've met with every administrator on all 3 campuses, the intermediate, the junior high, and the high school, all right? And we'll start tonight by meeting with you, the community, all right? And we'll show you how I'm going to get out to meet everybody in this community that feels like they want to play a role in us becoming the program that we want to become and want to serve these young people who are going to work their tails off for us every single day, okay? Our job is to create a vision for what it looks like to be the best program that we're capable of being. And what that is simply this. Organizations don't change as a whole. What organizational change looks like is individuals within that organization make a decision to change. And if enough individuals make a decision to change, eventually the organization changes. That's what we've got to do. And that is what I'm here to show everybody is it happens one human being at a time. And that means everybody that's looking at me right now and everybody that I'm looking at. Every one of us have a role to play in it, and we're going to get this thing done together. We've got to equip people with skills. That's one of the that's our biggest priority, is to equip our young people with the behavioral skills that it takes to succeed in easy moments, but more importantly, succeed in the most difficult competitions that they're ever going to face. That is something I'll talk about in great detail in just a second, because our program is nothing but teaching behavior. It's how to behave in these settings so that you can win. That's what our program is about, okay? Executing that process once we put it in place, and then every day it's an encouragement, because you guys know how hard it's going to be. I think everybody understands how hard and how difficult this is going to be, okay? So we're going to encourage everybody along the way to get up, dust themselves off, keep responding every single day to the challenges that we face, okay? Now, my role is simply to do this. I have to understand as an organizational leader what drives an organization. These are the things that drive an organization, all right? And those are the things that I concentrate on making sure are right every single day. Number one, creating an environment that builds the behaviors, okay? We understand that. That is what our environment does. Every single moment these young people are with us, they're getting taught the behaviors, all right? They're being held accountable to the behaviors in a way that they want to exceed in those areas. So when I say holding them accountable, I'm not talking about making it miserable to be around us. I'm talking about giving them the best hour and a half to 2 hours of their life every single day with us, learning how to grow as a young man or a young woman. That is what I'm talking about, okay? All right? We focus our strategy, the way we do business is we focus on three things. I told you, it all starts with behavioral development. That is number one. Number two is we have to maximize the athletic ability that these young people have, which is why George Sellers has to concentrate on nothing but that every single day for every athlete we have in our program. If I try to let him coordinate a defense while he's doing that, it's not going to get done, okay? But he decided that the best way he can help us is step into that role, and he is going to bust his tail to be the very best that he can be at that. All right, he's already doing it. He's been doing it since Thursday, already grinding to make sure that he's ready to give our kids the best. And when I say the best, I'm talking about as deep as we can get to them. I'm not talking about in this high school. I'm talking about as deep as we can get into this community, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. All right? We're going to create a process of system and mechanics to let us get it done. So when I say that, I'm going to talk a little bit about our behavioral system in just a second. There is a physics to getting things done. I'm not a scientist. I'm a history background guy, history and economics. But here's what I do know, doing this long enough. There is a path to get to where you want to be. And that path starts with leadership. That leadership develops things that I'll talk about in just a second. But there is a process that we have to put into place. And that means that there is going to be time committed to getting it done. Winning is hard. Being great is hard. It's not easy. It's time commitment. It takes discipline. And it takes us sacrifice that we have to be willing to go give every single day to make it happen. But if we're willing to get it done, I promise you what we'll do is we'll graduate young people that are ready for whatever they're going to face. And they're ready to respond to it at the moment's notice. Put a structure in place. Again, the structure is defining the roles of every single person in this program. And that includes community, okay? And you're going to look at me, Coach, who are you to define the roles of a community? Well, if it's not me, then who in the world is defining it as it relates to athletics? Who did the communities hire to be in charge of athletics in this program? They hired me. And I have to define the roles to get that done, okay? I have to show you how everybody can help us get the job done together. Now, how fast do we get it done? I'll say this at the end too. Depends on how fast each of us are ready to play our roles. That's how fast it'll get done, okay? But here's one thing I can promise you this. I'm stubborn. I'm probably more stubborn than any human being in this room. And I'm not going to stop until it gets done. I just want to make sure we all understand that, okay? All right? I took this job with the vision that this will be where we finish our career. And I know a lot of people may have said that to you. But when I took it, I talked to the administration about what I wanted to do and why this was the place I wanted to get it done, okay? And that is my intention, is to finish this career at this place. Now, will it always be as the head football coach? I don't know. Eventually, I may get too old. I may just need to be the AD, and somebody else needs to coach the football team, right? I don't know about that. But until the job's done, I'm not retiring until I leave here, okay? That is what we're doing, okay? Now, all right, do I have to prove that to you every single day? Absolutely. Just like everything I'm saying today, my job is to earn your trust in it every single day, and I get that, okay? And then it's the people, hiring the right people. The right people are this. The right people for this organization are service-driven people. We are in a customer service business, and we are servicing the most important thing in your life, which is your children. Okay? This ain't the car shop. This is what matters most. And we don't take that lightly. We get it 100%. We have to hire the people that understand the commitment that it takes to get that done. And we will. Most of them are already here. We've talked to everybody so far, every head coach. I've talked to every assistant that we're having in the football program. By the time we get to the end of this week, I will have talked to every single coach in our program, and they will know what's expected of them if they want to stay here. And if they want to stay here, we'll develop them into the coaches they want to become. If they don't, I'll shake their hands, I'll help them get where they need to be, and we'll find the people that need to be here. That is what we've talked to every one of them about it. And it's no hard feelings. It's a business, right? We'll be professional about it. But the people here have to have an undying desire to serve others, because it's hard to do and not everybody's capable of getting it done. It's just the way it is, okay? But that's what we're going to hire. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the way we build it. This is the physics of performance. As leaders, we're going to create an environment. In the buzzwords of our world, we call it culture now, right? But really what it is, it's an environment that builds behaviors. And those behaviors alone are what's going to lead us to the results that we want, okay? So we understand how it works as an athletic organization, that we have to create an environment that'll build behaviors that win. So what are the behaviors that win? Here are the behaviors that win. The result is the best. Now, Coach Collins, how many state championships are our teams going to win? I have no idea. Here's what I know. When us playing our best also translates into we have an unbelievable amount of talent on the field, then we'll compete for state championships. But if us playing our best with just good high school players means that we're fighting for this community to be the best team we can be and we come up a little bit short, it won't be because we were less than what we were capable of being. Does everybody understand that? I'm not going to promise you championships. What I'm going to promise you is eventually what we're going to look at from the stands and from every aspect of this program is something we can all be proud of. Knowing the amount of work that was put in to put that kind of product on the field to represent our community. That's what I'm going to promise you. And that is why we don't talk about goal. I told our guys, it's not to set goals. I don't set goals for the people in our program. What I do is I allow them to set goals, and then we put them on a path to go achieving those things. All right? If they want to win a state championship, there's a path that we can go get to. But that path is going to end at maximizing who we are. We have to understand that, okay? And that's really the only thing we need to be thought processed with every day. Is how good can I maximize and how much can I maximize what I've been given in this world? And that's what we're going to concentrate on getting done. Now, in order to get that done, the action plan is very simple. Have a strategy and align it with our culture. I've already talked about the strategy a little bit, but I'll go into more detail on it, okay? The three things we focus on: behavioral development. What behavior means to us is we have to maximize intentional behavior, all right? Intentional behavior means it's intentional, on purpose, and it's skillful. It means I know what to do, I know how to do it, but most importantly, I know why I'm getting it done. All right? And I'll tell you in detail what those four things that we believe in that make the difference are in just a few seconds. Okay? What we have to minimize is impulsive behavior, which gets us all in trouble. I don't care if we're 60 in this room or if we're 6 in this room or if we're 3, like that young lady is right over there. When we don't think about what we're doing, if we don't understand exactly what to do, but more importantly, we don't understand why it's important that we do it, that is when we make most of our mistakes. And I'd be willing to bet if I talk to each of these individual athletes, the times that they have not succeeded in their life is because they allowed impulsive behavior to drive what they did instead of intentional behavior. What we have to do is we have to create young men and women that are consistently intentional with what they do. That's what the environment of our program creates. Now, if you look at it, here's what we believe wins. I don't care what business you're in or what things you do. The top of the pyramid for us is understanding that the moment dictates the behavior that you're in. So you have to have enough situational and self-awareness to win in every single moment that you're getting into, okay? So how do we win? Well, it requires skill. So we have to be competitive in how we build skill, okay? We have to build skill for the moment. What does it look like on the football field versus what it looks like in the math class? Well, what's the football field require of me? What's the math class require of me? That's what I got to be able to answer. That's what I have to be able to understand it demands from me. And that's the skill I have to be willing to go build. That's what we talk about every single day. All right? So once we're competitive enough to know we've got to go fight for that skill, we have to know two other things. Number one, skill building is extremely difficult. I want you to think about how many habits you've broken and how hard it is. There's a reason why on January 1st, every fitness every fitness gym in the world is full, right? Because we all know what we want. How relentless are we in the approach to go get it? That's why on February 1st, there's only 10% left. Because not enough people are relentless enough. Not enough people that when it gets hard are willing to keep fighting and keep moving. But for us, relentless, and what does that mean? 4 to 6, A to B. That means we're going to go as long as it takes to get from where we are now to where we have to be. And we're not going to let anything discourage us. Period. Not. Okay? Circumstances, not. You're looking at a guy right here, guys. I'm the fifth of 5 kids. My mom, my dad, nor any of my 4 siblings have a high school diploma. I get what overcoming things looks like. Okay? So I understand where some of our kids are coming from, but it doesn't matter what your situation is, because some of these kids that have everything in the world are still going to struggle if they don't learn how to do the things they need to get done. So every kid can adapt, all right? Every kid can find their success, and we have to fight with them while they're finding it. And the last thing is, what will drive that relentless mindset? What will allow us to get it done? The love we have for those that mean the most to us. Because we know this, love is free, but what? Trust is earned. So today, here's what I'm telling you. I love Greenville, Texas. But I understand just by me saying that doesn't mean anything. My trust, or your trust in me, will be earned every single day. And it will drive every action that I have when I represent the G with my job every single day. Just like these young people understand that everything they do builds the trust of the people that need them most. And that's, again, how we'll drive the success. That's the environment we're going to create with our young people, okay? Somebody asked me in the interview process, Coach, how do you handle the kids that have less development? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Guys, there's adults that have less development. But here's what we identify. We know that every goal, has to be actionable and measurable. Am I right? For it to be real. We understand that. Well, I already told you what the action steps were to building the GEUS. But now here's the measurement steps. How well do our young people perform? Well, I don't know. Are they identified as foundational level athletes for us that are just learning what the vocabulary means for the first time? That have never been around that kind of environment, that need to understand how to thrive in an environment that expects that much from them? Well, guess what? We've got some kids that are going to be at that foundational level. How long are they going to be? I don't know. As long as they want to stay there until they're ready to go and step forward. Are they developing, which means they show emerging consistency, which means that they're getting more consistent in their actions in the classroom, their behaviors in the classroom, their behaviors as a teammate? Are they advanced, which means they show mastery of it? That means this young man right here, I'm going to tell you right here, he's already advanced. This young man's not starting foundational, so his parents, are you his parent? You've done a heck of a job with this young man. This young man right here too, okay? They're already advanced. This young man's advanced. However, some of our program are not. Now, are they elite yet? No, because we haven't taken the steps to make that difference in what? Others yet, right? And that's what it means to be elite in our program. When these young men start taking partners by the hand and saying, hey, we don't do it that way, here's how we do it, and they start changing the behaviors of others in the program, that's when they've met that standard. Now here's what I'm going to tell you about us. Until that young person gets to that advanced level of behavior, they can still be in the program, they just won't represent our varsity teams. Everybody understand that, okay? They won't represent our varsity teams. If they want to represent our varsity teams, they're going to be advanced in that behavior. That's my promise to you. Because again, we will not be dictated. I'm not, and again, if I get fired, okay. If I get fired doing what I know is right for people, I can live with that. What I know is right for people is you have to be relentless in the pursuit of doing the things that allow you to compete at the highest levels for us, because our community deserves it. Every one of you deserve it, okay? Last thing we'll talk through is, let's talk through the alignment plan. Our program is aligned two different ways. Vertically, it's aligned all the way from as deep as we can get into our elementary programs all the way through our varsity programs. And what I want to show you is we have distinct goals and ways to reach them. I'll be talking to you, and we got 5 more minutes here. I'll be talking to you as the spring goes. We'll have more about it in my meeting on February 19th, and we'll be talking about it as I correspond with the community throughout. We will start a program we call Lion Elite that will be a big part of our elementary campuses and be a big part of our youth leagues in this deal. And we will be coaching them. I will be working to coach kids in this program as deep as people will allow their kids to be a part of our program, and more importantly, as much as those young people are capable of behaving in the standards that we have in those settings, right? Because those settings have to be work settings, okay? All right? But we will be reaching down as far as we can. And we have goals in each one of those goals, okay? So again, I'm not going to go through each one of them, but I'm going to show you every single level of our program has a goal. When I meet with our junior high parents, I explain it in detail. When I meet with our high school parents, I explain it in detail. No matter what level you're on in our program, we have a desired amount of development that you need to reach to move on to the next level. How do we know we're successful? How many of you get to the next level? And how many of you are behaving at the level that we believe you should be by the time you get there? Again, 7th and 8th graders for us are foundational players for the most part. There'll be a few that sneak above that, but most of them are young people learning, right? As long as we get them there, we're in good shape. As long as we use the Lion Elite program to get 7th graders to understand how to compete for Greenville when they start putting that G on their chest as a collective, when all those elementary schools get to what? Get together and start competing with each other, okay? Then we know we've done our job at the Lion Elite level. When they get to the 9th grade level and they're ready to compete at a high 9th grade level, which, guys, do I know that for sure? I can't watch the video and know that for sure yet, okay? I know we can be better than what we're showing on the field. Again, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take everybody to build those behaviors? I'm not sure, but we ain't going to stop until it happens, okay? Those are the things we know, all right? So as we go through that, we'll have it for every single one and understand by the time they get to the varsity level, they're giving our program everything it needs. The last thing I'll cover tonight is what it looks like over the next few weeks. So tonight is our introduction into the program. What I've been doing and what these coaches have been helping me doing is we've been evaluating the existing staff and the existing players. And what I have not done yet is I have not changed anything about the day-to-day operations, because if I'm going to evaluate them, I have to see them in a setting that they're comfortable in. Does everybody understand that? I hope you understand that. All right? The only thing we've done is try to energize the product every single day. And I've tried to speak as many people as I can and let them know that my one job here is to build their trust. That's what I've been trying to do. All right? In week 2, what we're going to do is I'm going to start meeting with our boosters, our elementary sport and youth programs, and our civic groups. If you are part of a civic group, make sure that you reach out and email me when you meet, because I want to be there to talk to you, okay? I want to talk to everybody, and again, I want to tell you what our vision is and what y'all's role in is helping us getting this done, because we got to get this thing done together, okay? In week 3, I'm going to meet with our past boosters. Some of you guys don't have kids in the program anymore, but Greenville ISD means a lot to you. I want to know why. If you were a past booster, you had kids here in the past, I want to know your story too, because I want to understand the history of what we're doing. I mean, I didn't find out till today, in 1933, we won a state championship here in football. Did everybody know that? How many knew that? Raise your hand. 1933, state championship, okay? Here's what's a shame, and here's what will get fixed. That doesn't say that anywhere that I can see out there. We're fixing that, all right? We're going to fix that, because that's an unbelievable thing that not everybody in this state gets to say, but we've done it. And because we've done it once means that we can find a way to get it done again, period, okay? And then in 4th, I'm going to have a community meeting. Just so you'll know this, it says athletics on February 19th. I am going to have an athletic meeting. It is going to be driven more towards those parents that are in athletics right now and the expectations. But really, here's what it's going to be. That's going to be basically the summary of my evaluation of the program and then where we're moving forward. And what things are going to change if need be. Does everybody understand that? Okay? So I invite everybody, same place, same time, 6 o'clock, February 19th, we'll have that meeting. And then the last thing is, every single day, what comes out of my mouth will align with my actions. That is my goal. Okay? So, thank you for being here. That is basically all I needed to say today. And again, I want to make sure we all understand we're in this thing together. We have to get this done together. Okay? I'll do my role. I'll fulfill my role by having a plan to maximize the young people in our athletic program. All I'm going to ask is, when we build your trust and when you know we're in it for the right reasons, you help us by fulfilling yours. Thank you so much. I'll be here as long as you guys need me to today. Thank y'all.
This video has been brought to you by GEUS. GEUS is your community-owned provider for electric, internet, cable TV, and true local programming.